Last night, football fans were treated to an exciting World Cup Group J clash as Argentina faced Algeria in a match that carried huge importance for both teams. From the very first whistle, Argentina looked determined to make a statement. The South American giants controlled possession, moved the ball with confidence, and immediately began putting pressure on the Algerian defense. Algeria, meanwhile, tried to stay organized and looked for opportunities on the counterattack, hoping to surprise one of the tournament favorites. The opening minutes saw Argentina dominate the midfield, creating space with quick passing and intelligent movement. Every attack seemed to carry danger, and the Algerian defenders were forced to work hard to keep the score level. The pressure eventually paid off when Argentina found the breakthrough. A well-worked attacking move sliced through the Algerian defense, and the finish was clinical, giving Argentina a deserved lead. The goal lifted the confidence of the Argentine players and energized their supporters, who could sense that their team was beginning to take complete control of the contest. Algeria tried to respond positively after conceding, pushing higher up the pitch and attempting to create chances of their own. There were moments when the North African side showed their quality, combining well in midfield and testing Argentina's defensive organization. However, Argentina remained composed and disciplined, refusing to allow Algeria any clear route back into the game. Every time Algeria threatened to build momentum, Argentina seemed to have an answer. As the first half continued, Argentina's attacking players became increasingly influential. Their movement off the ball created problems all across the field, and Algeria struggled to contain the constant waves of pressure. Just before Algeria could settle into a rhythm, Argentina struck again. Another sharp attacking sequence resulted in a second goal, putting the South Americans firmly in command. At halftime, Argentina held a comfortable advantage, while Algeria faced a difficult challenge if they wanted to rescue something from the match. The second half began with Algeria showing greater urgency. Knowing they needed a goal to get back into the contest, they pushed forward and took more risks. For a brief period, they managed to spend more time in Argentina's half and looked capable of creating opportunities. Yet Argentina's defense stood strong, dealing confidently with crosses, through balls, and long-range efforts. The Argentine players demonstrated why they are considered one of the strongest teams in the competition, combining defensive solidity with attacking brilliance. As the match entered its final stages, Argentina continued to look dangerous every time they went forward. Their confidence was growing with every passing minute, and Algeria found it increasingly difficult to keep up with the pace of the game. Eventually, Argentina added a third goal, effectively ending any hopes of an Algerian comeback. The finish capped off an impressive team performance and highlighted the quality that Argentina possesses throughout its squad. The final whistle confirmed a dominant 3-0 victory for Argentina. It was a result that showcased their strength, experience, and ambition in the tournament. The midfield controlled the tempo, the defense remained organized, and the attack was ruthless when opportunities arrived. For Algeria, the defeat was disappointing, but there were still lessons to take from the match as they look ahead to their remaining fixtures. For Argentina, the victory sends a strong message to the rest of the competition. A convincing win, 3 valuable points, and a performance full of confidence will give them tremendous momentum moving forward. Fans left the stadium believing that their team has what it takes to go deep into the tournament. Meanwhile, Algeria will need to regroup quickly, learn from the experience, and focus on bouncing back in their next match. In the end, it was a night that belonged to Argentina. From the opening whistle to the final moments, they looked like the stronger side, and their 3-0 triumph over Algeria will be remembered as one of the most convincing performances of the group stage so far. The celebrations continued long after the final whistle as Argentine supporters filled the stadium with songs, flags, and an atmosphere that reflected their excitement about what this result could mean for the rest of the tournament. Players applauded the fans from the pitch, recognizing the role their support had played throughout the evening. It was more than just a victory, it felt like a declaration of intent from a team that arrived at the World Cup with the expectation of challenging for the biggest prize in football. Inside the dressing room, the mood was understandably positive. The coaching staff praised the players for maintaining focus and discipline throughout the 90 minutes. They had executed the game plan almost perfectly, controlling possession when necessary, pressing aggressively when opportunities appeared, and remaining patient in front of goal. Such performances are rarely achieved without collective effort, and Argentina's success was built on teamwork as much as individual quality. Football analysts around the world immediately began discussing the significance of the result. Many pointed to Argentina's balance as one of their greatest strengths. While some teams rely heavily on attacking stars or defensive organization, Argentina appeared capable of doing both. Their ability to dominate possession, create chances, and defend effectively made them look like one of the most complete teams in the competition. Pundits noted that if they could maintain this level of performance, they would be extremely difficult to stop for Algeria. The night was painful but not without positives. Despite the scoreline, there were moments when they demonstrated courage and determination against one of the strongest teams in the tournament. Several players continued fighting until the very end, refusing to let their heads drop even when the game became increasingly difficult. Those moments of resilience may prove important as they prepare for upcoming matches where every point could be crucial. The defeat also served as a reminder of the fine margins that exist at the highest level of international football. Against elite opponents, even small mistakes can be punished. Algeria learned this lesson repeatedly throughout the match as Argentina capitalized on opportunities with ruthless efficiency. The coaching staff will undoubtedly spend the coming days reviewing the performance, identifying areas for improvement, and working to ensure that similar mistakes are avoided in future games. Meanwhile, Argentina's players remained cautious despite the impressive victory. Experienced members of the squad reminded reporters that tournaments are not won after one match. They acknowledged the importance of the 3 points but emphasized that many difficult challenges still lie ahead. This mentality has often been a hallmark of successful teams. Rather than becoming distracted by praise, they remain focused on the larger objective of progressing through the tournament and ultimately competing for the championship. As news of the result spread across social media, fans around the globe reacted with enthusiasm. Supporters praised Argentina's attacking football, while neutral viewers highlighted the entertainment value of the performance. Clips of the goals quickly circulated online, generating millions of views and sparking discussions about whether this could be one of Argentina's strongest World Cup squads in recent years. The confidence displayed on the pitch certainly gave supporters plenty of reasons to dream. Attention now turns to Argentina's next fixture, where expectations will be even higher following such a commanding display. Opponents will undoubtedly study this performance carefully, searching for weaknesses and ways to disrupt Argentina's rhythm. However, after watching the team dominate Algeria from start to finish, many observers believe that Argentina has established itself as one of the early favorites in the competition. For Algeria, the path forward remains challenging but far from impossible. Football history is filled with teams that recovered from difficult starts to achieve memorable success. The key will be maintaining belief, correcting mistakes, and approaching the next match with renewed determination. A strong response could completely change the narrative surrounding their campaign. As the stadium lights eventually dimmed and fans began making their way home, the memories of the evening remained vivid. Argentina had delivered a performance filled with quality, confidence, and ambition. Algeria had shown heart despite the disappointment. And the World Cup had once again provided another chapter in its long history of drama, passion, and unforgettable moments. For everyone who witnessed the match, it was a reminder of why football continues to captivate millions around the world, bringing nations together through 90 minutes of excitement, emotion, and endless possibility.